everyone. Welcome to Real Talk. I'm Brenda Blackman. New Jersey residents are feeling the crunch as the economy continues to weaken and companies continue to lay off workers. Some economists say this could last until next December. Today, we're showing you ways to survive a downturned economy. We'll meet one Citigroup executive who was laid off in the spring. We'll talk to a recruiter about what she should be doing to land her next job. Plus, we'll also have financial advisors on hand with tips on where your investments should be. We'll also hear from the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, who really needs your help. First up, she was a Citigroup executive who lost her job in the spring of this year, and now she's hitting the pavement searching for a new job. Karen Bodner's here. Also here, Adam Connors. He's the president of Spire Search Partners, an executive search firm. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. First of all, Karen, let's start with you. You were laid off last spring from Citigroup. Tell us, what exactly happened and what was your position at Citigroup?
I managed initial public offerings of stock.
What does that mean in real words?
In real words, when companies go public, they go to the markets and they market in the stock market.
It's okay. Just explain it in words that people like me can understand.
Companies going public they go through a marketing process. There's a process of listing on the stock exchange, whether it be New York or London or Paris, and there's also the process of marketing the offering. What I did was manage those two processes, working with the company, the investors, lawyers, bankers, etc.
So how difficult has it been out here trying to find a job?
Well, last year I worked on about 200 offerings. This year there have only been about 10. So it's unsurprising that companies are laying off people like me who are specialists in something that just isn't happening right now with the markets being shut. So it's been difficult. It's hard to talk to people about how they're going to staff for a function that's not really functioning right now.
So is she a typical person who's out of work, Adam?
I'd say she's even more qualified than most of the people that are out of work. You know, there's things that are, like in Karen's situation, that are just totally out of her control. I mean, in this market, this is brutal, you know, quite frankly. This makes 2001 really, you just can't even compare the two.
So how does someone like Karen set herself apart? Is it all about marketing?
Man, again, in this market, it's a totally different animal, but there are a few things that people should be doing. You know, there's roughly 4 to 5 things that I recommend. First and foremost, you know, you find somebody, you know, in your field of expertise that, like an executive search consultant like myself. That's one thing that you can do. Another thing you can do is identify with your personal network, your family, your friends, your alumni. You know, 60 to 70%, I think that's even a conservative number, of people find their jobs through that network. Mm-hmm. Technology is something that's huge these days. Technology kind of quasi-personal branding. So there's social networking sites out there called like LinkedIn. It's phenomenal. You can kind of create like a virtual CV. That's phenomenal. There are all these other different forms that you can, you know, there's like Facebook, which is more like social, but again, it's a way to connect with a lot of other people. There's another thing I'd recommend is at a certain level in your career, it's good to have like a career coach or someone who can write your resume. There's a great service called Inspired Resumes that we've seen people in the financial services community use. And what it helps is a lot of times, like, you've got this great career, 20 years in Wall Street, and you have to be able to define yourself on a one-page piece of paper. You're a three-dimensional dynamic individual. How do you do that? You know, you need to find someone who can really kind of bring out the points that are really the most important.
That's a lot of stuff to try and break down. Have you been doing any of those things?
I've been doing some of those things. I mean, I'm certainly talking to, you know, friends and family in my network and all the people who I know. I mean, I've been doing the same job on Wall Street for about 14 years. So
Are you on Facebook?
I am on Facebook, and that's actually how you guys found me.
Don't give away our secrets.
I'm sorry. But, and I've also been talking to, so I know all the people who do my job at other firms. I know and have known for years, and that's how I started working on my search, and I started talking to all those people, and that's generally the way that I started with the interviews that I've had.
And excuse me for interrupting, but you did mention that professional resume service. Is your resume professionally well done? Is it up to date?
Well, I think it's professionally well done, but I did it myself.
So that's a real key, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I was just sitting down with the CEO of a major financial institution that's actually growing exponentially, believe it or not, in this market just yesterday, sitting down in his office, and we were going through resumes. He showed me stacks of resumes that he had. And he said, we started looking through, there's this...
What makes a person pop out, and what's a mistake people make?
A lot of times, people have like 3-page resumes, or they write it in paragraph form. You need to be short, sweet, just like you need me to use an economy of words right now. That's what you need to do in your resume. Short, sweet, use your accomplishments, scream out, make it aesthetically clean. So this guy just threw it out. He started looking at a resume, and in front of me, just threw it out.
So networkers have to be careful, though, especially on those networking sites like you mentioned with Facebook. So what do you look out for?
Well, I try to be careful about how much personal information I'm putting, particularly on Facebook. If I have a lot of my friends in my network, do I want to have potential employers be looking at the same things that my friends are?
In other words, if they got pictures of themselves having parties, you don't want that on.
That's right. Even if it's not me, I just don't want to have that associated with my professional search. So I try to keep the personal and the professional separate.
So, and is that one of the things, too, that's very important to do?
It's huge. You know, we're in a technological age, so the first thing when employers are doing background checks, I've got hedge funds that I work with, it's the first thing they do with the background check. They take a look, and they've got clauses that sometimes you can't have. You have to eradicate any information that you can on the internet. They're very secretive. So, yeah, you need to do it. It's professional integrity. A lot of information out there today.
How do you keep your spirits up? I mean, you've got the kids at home now.
Right.
That's got to be a different life for you.
It is, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying it. But it's hard. I try to keep in touch with the markets, and I'm watching the markets all the time. And obviously, as they go up and down, your spirits go a little up and down with the markets as they gyrate. You know, I'm trying to do different things to keep myself busy, learn new things, you know, and then just trying to enjoy the time that I have. I got to see my younger son. I got to see his first steps. My older son, I didn't.
Oh, that is wonderful to know, though. Okay, I'm marching in there for my new position. How do I get in there to your CEO? Do I wear red?
No, you still got to play the game. You got to be conservative. What I tell people, you need to be persistent, but at the same time, you need to be patient. Depending on how long you are, the average, they say per every year out in the field, it's 5 weeks to find the right job. That's like, again, a statistical rule of thumb. But you got to do everything you can to separate yourself. As great as Karen is, there's a lot of other people that do what she does, and you got to do every little thing to separate yourself. There's a service that we use, it's called Vipe, and it's phenomenal. So we attach it to someone's resume, and it's like a little video, just like here. So you know, you've got this little piece of paper, and then someone can click on the CV, and it gives a quick video. Hey, I'm Karen. I'm a specialist. I'm one of the leading people. This way, people can put a name with a face, and they get a good caption of who she is. So just those tiny little things that separate yourself, you'd be surprised.
You've got to be technologically savvy, if nothing else.
Or you have that coach maybe that helps you out. You know.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for educating.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Yeah.
Okay. Up next, your investment portfolio, like most, has probably taken a big hit. Coming up, investment tips on how you can recoup some of those losses. We'll have that and more on Real Talk.